How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What are you up to?
Not much. A little school, a little work. Just kind of enjoying the spring.
Yeah, a little work. What are you
I
work?
uh, I work at a doctor's office as an intern. Just kind of help room patients and get to shadow him, see what he does.
Okay. All right. Have you watched so if I ask you like if doctor shows are pretty accurate, what would you say? Like Chicago Med or Grey's Anatomy? I mean, is that what it looks like in the hospital or is that just kind of an exaggeration?
Oh no, this is just like a private practice office. So the hospital's probably a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more complicated. But from what I have heard, they say that the pit, that hospital show, is
The
kind of the
the
best
pit.
one. Yeah.
Okay. What about St. Dennis Medical? Is that one pretty? You heard
Oh no,
about
I've
that one?
never heard of that
No?
one.
Okay. That one's supposed to be more of like a comedy, kind of more of a comedy hospital show, but okay. The Pit. Okay, so if I want to know what it's like to be um, a doctor, just watch The Pit. Okay.
I guess, yeah.
What about House? House pretty accurate?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Where did this
Maybe they stretch a few things in that one.
yeah, where did this maybe love, if you want to call it, for, that sort of work start, you know?
Like health.
Yeah, is that kind of what because
Yeah.
you're what, a biology or biochemistry and molecular biology major? Like,
Yeah, biochemistry. Yeah.
yeah, where did that sort of
Uh,
passion come from?
well, definitely from my parents. My parents both work in the health professions, and kind of just growing up, I was always thought wanted to be a biology major, and kind of working in science, and then
Mhm.
Um, as I got to college and school, I took some chemistry classes, and then my chemistry classes were a little bit more fun than the bio classes. So I thought I'll just do biochemistry instead, and I had a lot of fun, and I really loved my
Mhm.
biochemistry classes. And then after my freshman year of college, I got to intern and shadow the same doctor I work for now.
Nice.
He was yeah he's a big supporter of our team at F&M. He's
Yeah.
an old alumni, and he helps a lot of our guys out, gives them internships and jobs, and lets them shadow him.
Nice.
So he kind of let me shadow him. I saw what he did, and I loved it. So that kind of set me on
Mhm.
the healthcare, become a doctor path, and it's been
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And what do your parents do then if they're involved in the healthcare side of things?
Yeah, my mom is a orthopedic surgeon,
Okay.
and she works down in Baltimore. And my dad is a neurosurgeon, so and he also he doesn't work at this in the same spot, but he's also down in Baltimore.
Gotcha. So like, are you going to be a surgeon too then, or what?
I hope so.
Really?
Everyone's really good, so I gotta put in a lot of work. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I want to go, and I think it's going to be a fun, challenging road.
Yeah. What is the road like to become a surgeon?
Yep. So it's 4 years of undergrad, or
Okay.
or five if your red shirt.
Right.
But then it's 4 years of med school, and then
Okay.
after that, it's the residency in whichever specialty you want, which could be orthopedic surgery, it could be just general medicine, it could be whichever. But then it's
Okay.
that's where you kind
Well,
of hone in your specialty.
gotcha. So it's a pretty similar path then, even if you're going to be just like I don't want to say just a regular doctor, but if you're not going the surgeon route, it's still a similar path.
Yep, everyone's got to go to the med school, 4 years of med school.
Yeah. And did doing this in 5 years make it slightly easier that you were able to spread out your classes a little bit instead of jamming it into 4 years?
Well, my redshirt year was more of a gap year where I didn't take any classes, so I did kind of cram, not cram, but like
Right.
I took the
Okay.
normal schedule of classes, and I just took off what would have been my senior year. I took off, and I volunteered, I worked, and I did all the med school applications,
Hmm.
and then just finished up my last year of school this year.
Why did you take a gap year? Like what I'm curious what a gap year consists of. Like people take a gray shirt or they take a red shirt. But like when you say gap year, what does that mean really?
Well, it was it was kind of interesting because we don't really do like red shirts here at
Okay.
F&M. Like
Okay.
you can red shirt, but because we don't have a grad school,
Hmm.
it's kind of odd to stack on more classes that you don't like need to contribute towards your major. So what a lot of people end up doing is they just either take like a gap semester or a gap year, and then picking up the following year. It just because we don't have a grad school,
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense to kind of stay enrolled, take more classes, and stuff along those lines for that redshirt year.
Yeah. So yeah, basically what you're kind of saying is like, okay, I'm going to be taking classes that aren't going towards any major. So like I'm just taking classes because, right? Is
Yeah,
that kind of like
yeah, it didn't for me. The gap year definitely seemed like the best option, just because
yeah.
it allowed me to have a lot of freedom in my schedule with
Yeah.
like being able to work and volunteer with get more like clinical hours on my resume, which
Hmm.
would help for med school.
So were you enrolled in school at all during that time? Like when you take a gap year, are you like not a student?
Yeah, I was off the roster, off the wrestling team. We were doing club practice. I was
Yep,
the
yep,
one
yep.
diplomat, right? Or me and Pat Phillips, who was our 49 pounder this year.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
both did like the same thing, took a gap year,
Hmm.
and he did a gap semester. Sorry. And for that, one semester, we were the only two diplomat wrestling club members, and we set our club practice uh, before or after our regular team practice, and
Yeah.
it was fun. It definitely got a little lonely there towards the end, but it was a good experience, and I think it really helped elevate my wrestling.
Yeah. Did you have to reapply then to get back into F&M or
No, no,
okay.
it was like kind of like a leave of absence type thing. I'm not quite sure. My coaches helped me with a lot of the
Yeah.
coaches in the athletic administrators helped me with a lot of like the bureaucratic like red tape.
Right, right.
So I'm not sure exactly
No,
what
you're
you
good.
did, but it was something along the lines of like a leave of absence, and then just kind of drop the credits and stuff for a year.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. One last question about the gap year.
Mhm.
Not specifically the gap year, but like you mentioned quite a bit that you were working. Like were you wrestling a lot too, or I mean,
Oh yeah, I was wrestling
okay,
every day. I was
okay,
Yeah, I was wrestling. I don't know, just because I didn't have school or homework, it made my schedule just so much, that much more open for uh,
yeah,
other activities.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Well, okay. I think I got the gist of how the gap year works now. That's cool. Because I mean, at the Air Force Academy, yeah, we don't have a red shirt. Like
Yeah,
you don't red shirt here. So,
it's just four and done, right?
yep,
Do you guys
exactly.
have a like a? I know like Navy and Army have those like prep schools
Yep.
beforehand. Do you guys have those, or is it just?
Yes. Yep. We do have prep schools. So that is the red shirt year, if you
Yeah,
will. Um, but if you come directly to the academy, yeah, it's 4 years and you're done. There's no, like you're saying, there's no red shirt. So,
wow.
um, yeah. So you're from Towson, Maryland,
Yep,
correct?
yep.
Whereabouts is that in terms of like Baltimore?
It's Baltimore County, maybe like 20 minutes from the actual city. Uh,
Gotcha.
real close, about an hour from F&M, an hour south from F&M. So everything's really
Really?
close. Yeah.
Is that where you're like born and raised?
Yeah, I was born. I think there's like a hospital maybe like a mile away from my house. So I was born
Yeah.
there. And, yeah, grew up in Towson. I
Yeah.
went to Loyola Blakefield, a school in Towson. So yeah, everything was Towson.
Yeah. Is that where your family's from too? Like your parents from there too, or what?
No, my dad's from Jersey somewhere,
Okay.
and my mom is from Upper Darby, PA.
Gotcha. How'd they land in Baltimore then? Or Towson, I guess.
Um, my mom got a job at a hospital in Baltimore. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where we ended up.
Yeah. And what about wrestling then? So, I mean, was that did your dad wrestle? Like, was your mom like involved in wrestling? Anybody in
Um,
the Conway family? No.
uh, yeah, no, none of my parents ever wrestled. When I was a kid, my dad, like, I think he started when he was, you know, maybe 30 or something. In his 30s, he started jujitsu.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was a kid and I wanted to do jujitsu too, but, schools don't have jujitsu teams. So
Yep.
it was a wrestling team. And that was when I started seventh grade, and that was great.
Oh, you started in seventh grade.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Did you like it right away?
No,
No.
no, it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I
I was
got like
wondering.
pinned.
Yeah,
I
right?
got my ass kicked. Practices weren't fun. I don't know why I stuck. I think I had a lot of friends on the team, so I just kind of stuck
That's
with
helpful,
it. And
man.
then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go to practice. And then in high school, I started to get like more serious about it and just like start training harder. And that's kind of when things started to pick up. I started doing a little more work and just wrestling and lifting more.
Yeah, were you doing other sports as you were growing up before seventh
Yeah,
grade in wrestling?
yeah. In middle school, I played lacrosse. I
Nice.
ran.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's in Maryland. Like everyone in Maryland plays lacrosse at some point,
Mhm.
pretty much. I ran cross country in middle school and freshman year of high school. So I was kind of doing. I did a lot of sports. I just kind of
Mhm.
I played t-ball, and I wasn't good at it, but
Yeah.
it was yeah. I've definitely played a lot of sports and had a lot of fun with them all.
Yeah. Did you do any then continue them in high school besides wrestling?
Freshman year, I did cross country
Okay.
and I did a little bit of lacrosse freshman year, but not a ton. And then after that, it was just strict wrestling.
Really? What made you start to, sort of like wrestling and then love it, like what was it starting having some success or
Yeah,
um
I
like
think it was my freshman year. I was like varsity. I started,
yeah.
um, and then I think I just went like 0-2 in like the postseason, and I don't know. I was like, I'm pretty competitive, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
well, I can definitely do better. Uh, that's not how I want to, go out. I don't want to go out there and go 0-2 every time. So I'm just,
Mhm.
and I worked a lot in the off season and just kind of chipped away at it. I think just kept showing up to practice. I went to a bunch of practices, lifted a ton. It was,
Mhm.
it was a lot of fun. I saw my friends a lot just because they were there too. So it was a good time.
Yeah. What club were you running to?
Oh, kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, I never went to. I did. So it was called Ground Control Wrestling. Wrestling Club, I think,
Hmm.
with Kramer Whitelaw. He went to George Mason for a little bit. He was a great coach.
Hmm.
I went to Steve Fittery's Fitz Academy on Sundays at Hereford, uh, and that was fun. He's awesome. He's a very nice guy, and
Hmm.
taught me a lot. I went to the McDonough Mac Club, where Dom Solis, like the McDonough wrestling team from Maryland. They had a lot of guys go D1, and they had a
Yeah.
couple of guys at Maryland. And I just remember Dom Solis rolling with me a few times, and just being a nice guy to help me out. He was
Yeah.
he was older than me. In high school. He was a grade above me, but
Yeah.
we're now the same grade, so that was fun.
Yeah.
And he was always very nice. There's definitely more.
Hmm.
My high school had a club that ran like twice a week, so it was just kind of bounced around everywhere, every practice I could get to.
Yeah. And were your parents like growing through wrestling as well? Like since they probably weren't really exposed
Uh,
to it, were you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess they definitely did grow through wrestling. It got to the point where uh, like this year, my mom would be like watching matches that I'm not even in just because she liked watching watching
Nice.
wrestling. So it was, and she keeps up with it, and she's a big fan of the sport now.
Yeah.
My dad, I don't know if it was just just watching me or the sport, but he came to all my matches this year, and
Nice.
actually, I think almost all my matches in college he made it to. There might have been like one or two tournaments he missed.
Yeah.
He was there, and yeah, it was awesome. So yeah,
Yeah,
they've
that's
definitely grown, and I
yeah.
guess the sport as well.
That's pretty impressive, especially with the type of job he has, both your parents, to be able to make time to still go and support. I mean,
Yeah,
that probably
um,
wasn't easy at times.
yeah, no, I'm very grateful. And I just, I remember going 0-2 at some tournaments in college or at some like little dual meets in college and just being completely devastated that my dad came and I went and wrestled and I didn't like score a point. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was just like, just it's all right. Just want
Yeah.
to see you go out there and do what you enjoy. So that was
Yeah.
definitely there's definitely moments I look back and I was like, damn, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I would have won those.
Yeah. You came and watched me wrestle like that. Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Wow, you must love me.
when did you start to find a little bit of success and like, also then believe that you were starting to get pretty good at wrestling?
I guess I guess probably junior year or whatever, like the 2023, 2024 year, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't remember. I think I just ended up getting ranked somehow. I had a couple like wins over returning national qualifiers that I had never heard of. Like I just went like I didn't really like I knew the top names. I knew like top 10 names, top 15
Right.
names. I just went out and wrestled and I it might have been at the Southeast Open. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up getting ranked somewhere in like the top 30. And I was like, all right, well, top 30 is pretty cool. And then it was just
Yeah.
like our November schedule is kind of I don't want to say intense, but we hit the most like we go to Southeast, we go to Journeyman, we go to Keystone, Midland / Cliff Keen, and so that first bit of the season is intense, and you're hitting good guys back to back. So I just kind of end up wrestling a lot of good guys back to back to back, and I pulled out a few wins that year. And I was like, all right, well, I can beat some of these good kids, so why not try and beat the next level and the next level? So it was probably around that time, and then over my red shirt year, me and I've wrestled Isaac Dean a lot, but I wrestled him over my redshirt year, just in the very first tournament of the season, and and then he went on to do really well and be really ranked really high, and I was like, well, I think I can do that too. I can beat those next level guys too. And then it was just kind of honing the skill set and the mindset to then go and treat every match the same and treat those top 10 matches like they're the top 20 matches, those top 20 matches like they're, just anyone in front of you, you're going to treat the same. So I think it was probably just a combination of having some success my junior year, hitting some top ranked guys and being close and competitive with my redshirt year, and then coming into this year, I was like, all right, well, we'll see what happens. I think I'm pretty good. I'll go out there and wrestle anyone as tough as I can. We'll see what happens. So that's kind of I think the progression of it.
Yeah. Since you weren't like heavily ingrained in the sport of wrestling, like what were your expectations as you were kind of going through high school? I mean, you found yourself on the podium as a sophomore. I mean, was that a surprise to you, or is that a goal expectation that you were going to place, or were you just sort of looking to get better because you were a little naive, if that makes sense?
I don't know. I never. That's that. I don't know what I expected. I just like I've said before. I'm really competitive and I don't really like to lose. So it's like every match I go into, I'm like, well, I'm gonna do my best to win because I
Yeah,
don't like losing. Uh, so I don't know if I ever had like grand expectations of in high school. It was just like I'm gonna try to win every match,
of
So
course. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
eventually that carried like just carried through, and I don't know what did I come? I think I came like fifth, fourth, third, something along those lines. Uh, my sophomore year,
Hmm.
and then uh, I feel like I just like chip away at things, just keep showing up, keep going to tournaments, and you get a little better, a little better, a little better.
Yeah.
I guess my junior year, I did have a goal of winning states, and I wrote that goal down specifically.
Hmm.
So I think by junior year, I had specific goals, but until then, it was just I'm just gonna try and win.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're kind of new to the sport and you're just trying to get better, you don't really look at the end goal of like, like in wrestling, I just want to get better and I just want to win this match. You're not actually you're still a little new and green to the sport. You don't actually see like winning a state title as maybe even an achievable goal at that
Yeah,
point because you're
yeah,
you're still figuring things out.
definitely, definitely.
So,
Yeah, that's
but I mean, what was your high school team like? Were like it sounds like you went around and wrestled at a lot of different clubs. Did you wrestle on the same high school team as a lot of as some of these other kids or
as like my high school teammates.
yeah.
They were they did. I don't think a lot of them went to as many clubs as I did. I was kind of an anomaly in how
Yeah.
far I went and everything. But they showed up to school and wrestled all summer. And
Yeah.
I have to shout out the A bars, my first practice partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there's three brothers, but I was on the team with two of them, Josh and Jeremiah, and yeah, they well, Josh honestly like kicked my ass when I was a freshman, like murdered me.
Yeah. Was he older than you or bigger or just
Yeah,
just better?
he was a weight class below, but he was a year older.
Oh.
um, and he just absolutely destroyed me. And but yeah, no, he was very cool. He was like my original practice partner, and he wrestled a lot, and like as a kid for the Warhawks. So that's kind of the
Yeah.
club that everyone mostly went to, and just in high school that they would just train at Loyola Blakefield, the high school for the summer.
Yeah. Did there come a time when like you sort of surpassed because of all the work that you were putting in that you kind of surpassed some of those guys that were ahead of you, when you were younger, kind of growing up? Like you just mentioned, you say A bar,
Yeah,
the A bar brothers, like
AYBAR. Yeah,
yeah,
those guys. They're I guess yeah. As I got bigger and stronger, and I think I was 170 or 180 my junior and senior years. By that time, I think I was big enough that I was kind of handling my own and maybe taking him down. It was still a dog fight. He was
yeah,
he still had that like big brother kind of thing, but
for sure, yeah, yeah,
yeah. At some point, I remember taking him down for the first time. I was like, okay, I can take him down. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a journey, and I just remember like the little landmarks where it's like, okay, I took him down for this first time. Okay, I rid him out for this first time. So
hmm,
eventually, I think it took me a while, but eventually I got to his level.
yeah. Um, then when your senior year, you won a state title. You won your state title. I mean, was that a pretty significant moment then? I mean, at least at that point in your
Oh
life, I mean, that
yeah,
had to be pretty,
at
that'd be
that
pretty
moment,
sweet.
I felt that was like the craziest achievement I could ever think of. I was like, nothing is gonna surpass this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like that's just high school, and then like I feel like winning my first college match. equaled that feeling.
Really?
So I was like, all right, well, that's that clearly there's another level, and it's a lot more fun when you get to higher level competition.
Yeah. When did you start realizing that maybe you were going to start doing this wrestling thing at the next level?
Oh man. Well, in high school, I'd never wanted to wrestle in college. That was
Yeah.
like my mom was like, maybe you want to wrestle in college. I'd be like, not a chance. No way in hell will I
Yeah.
do this again. Um, and then kind of what happened was my senior year, like, or so I'm sorry, I won my that title junior year because
Yeah.
senior year everything was canceled because of COVID.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I remember just not getting like really too many chances to compete or anything along those lines. So I was like, well, maybe, maybe. So, like I was talking to some coaches, and I think October, I had like a visit here at F&M, and I talked to the coaches, and it was great. And I was like, all right, well, I did really enjoy talking to the coach and meeting, some of the guys on the team. Maybe, maybe I'll say yes, and we'll try it out. We'll go up there in the summer and wrestle and see how it is. So I was like, all right, we'll just dip our toes in the water. And then, like, my first week of practices over the summer, I remember just getting murdered again by everybody. And
Yeah.
I think that there's this one practice that I remember specifically where I was wrestling John Crawford, who was he was like kind of like my practice partner. Him and Noah Fox were my practice partners my first 3 years here. He ended up qualifying at 97 his senior year, I think 2024. And that first week I had to practice. I like practiced with him as his partner, and I remember having to sit in the locker room like after practice for like 30 minutes just to recover. Like I thought I was gonna die, and I was like, and in that moment I was like, I guess I'm gonna keep doing this because this is kind of fun. I do enjoy it. I enjoy battling and like the frustration of like getting on the leg and not getting the takedown. I was like, damn, I
Hmm.
have to learn how to take these guys down. And the thought of not wrestling didn't even occur to me anymore. It was always just like I just gotta learn that it was like I just gotta learn how to take these guys down now. That was the
Hmm.
only thing that was on my mind. It wasn't really like oh I don't really want to wrestle anymore. It was like all right we gotta beat these guys now.
Yeah.
We gotta figure this out.
Wow. That's all it took to light that
Yeah, like I
fire.
said, like I said, somewhere in me there's like this real competitive fire that it's real quick to ignite.
Yeah. Did you look at anywhere else to wrestle or?
Yeah, I sent emails to a bunch of coaches and they sort of responded, but because it was over COVID, there was like kind of tough to get to these places and visit and
Sure.
everything. And at the end of like I guess at the end of that recruiting season, I don't know what it would be like November, December. Um, the only two that were like somewhat interested were F&M and University of Maryland.
Hmm.
And the University of Maryland, like they had Jackson Smith coming in. They had a bunch of good guys coming in, and they weren't really interested. But I was from Maryland, so they reached out. But uh, just like the academics and kind of the love I felt from the coaches, like they were interested. So I was that was appealing to me. They wanted me, so
Yeah.
it kind of made the choice a lot easier. So
Yeah. Actually, you said Crawford was a national qualifier. You qualified with him, so that'd be
yeah,
a pretty cool,
that was awesome.
moment. Yeah, that you and him both qualified in 2024 together as practice partners.
Yeah, yeah, that that
So
was that was definitely special going out there with him and wrestling.
yeah, all those times he beat you up, and now you're
Yeah,
just now now you
I
get to
like
go
to
out.
think I like to think I got him back a few times.
You
He
did
was the
okay.
one that was just so hard to score on, and he had crazy hips. And I would get the deepest double you could think of and end up on my back, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." And yeah, just honestly, like I love him to death. He's like a great friend. I just hated losing to him. So I was like, I got to figure out how to beat him, and that's kind of one of the things that I think drove me to work harder, lift more, do
Yeah.
that extra practice, figure out how to take him down.
Yeah. Does that competitiveness bleed over into other aspects of like Mario Kart or chess or Uno, stuff like that, where like you're just playing
Uh,
anything and you're like, dude, I'm gonna win no matter what. And if I lose, I'm gonna find a strategy to beat you next time.
I don't want to say yes because I'm not like you. I'm not like you're not gonna see me like going crazy in all this.
Right.
But
No, no, just because you lose doesn't mean you're a sore loser, just because you're
yeah,
competitive, but
yeah.
that it's gonna eat at you a little bit.
It is because if I don't do my best, or it's like I know I can do a little better, like I'm gonna do it a little better. Like I'm gonna make the adjustment and figure it out the next time. Like this is really stupid, but um, every year we do an intramural volleyball team after the season, and
Nice.
we're playing like the girls' club team, and just it's a lot, a lot. But you'll see us all, just like hitting, um, just trying our best. We're trying our best out there, and
Yeah.
it's a little silly, but
Yeah.
it's always a lot of fun. And yeah, each year we make the adjustment and get a little better, so
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah.
I think that's where some of the carryover you can see the most.
Did you ever do any jujitsu then? Like, I mean, that was kind of what even started this a little bit, this wrestling story, but like,
Yeah,
did that, so
I
yes, you did?
did. I did end up. I
Okay.
forget if it was like the year before I started wrestling or like the same year. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to ask my mom,
Yeah.
but something somewhere around that time, like right before I started wrestling or right as I started wrestling, I went to those. Um, but yeah, that was fun. That was fun, and I enjoyed it. I'd definitely
Yeah.
do it. I'll definitely do it now. Now that
Yeah.
I'm retired, but
Oh, you're retired?
well, yeah, that was my last year of college wrestling.
I know, but there's seniors, there's international. Yeah,
Maybe
there's more wrestling that could be had, is all I'm saying.
that's an unofficial retirement. Maybe I'll stop. I never left my shoes on any mat, so,
Exactly. Exactly.
we'll see what happens. But now that I have just more things other than wrestling to focus on, I might try some jujitsu or some other
Yeah.
combat sport. I'm not really sure, but jujitsu
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Did you like, to the outside world, like Franklin and Marshall? I mean, it's most likely a school no one's ever heard of. I mean, is it a pretty well-known school, at least where you're from in that area? Like,
No,
no? Okay.
no, there's some people in Lancaster who don't even know about it.
Really?
That just stretches. Like maybe like one Amish person doesn't know about it, but yeah, it's for the most part. If you're in the general area, you know about it. You might like know someone who's gone there. But outside of that, people have never really heard of it.
Hmm.
I heard about it because, well, one, my high school coach went here,
Okay.
uh, and two, at national preps, my junior year, I ended up losing to Caden Rogers, our head coach's son, twice. So,
Oh, no way.
so that's kind of how we I like sort of found out about it and got in contact with him. So that was fun. That was not at the moment. I was like a little embarrassed, but
Yeah.
looking back, it's like super fun. It's like funny. So
When you were going there on your recruit, like, did you realize that it was his son at the time?
I
Or like, did you show up and be like, "Hey, are are you that kid's dad that beat me?" What like?
I think I knew before I even
Okay.
sent an email to him. I remember. I forget. I think my mom figured it out before I did.
Really?
She's like, "Is this the same guy?" Or my mom or dad figured it out. I was like, "It might be." So yeah, it was kind of fun. But he's a really good friend of mine. We trained together, and he goes to Lehigh, and he's a really good wrestler. So Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely I definitely still practice with him. That's he's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it academically difficult to get into a school like Franklin and Marshall?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty challenging.
Hmm.
I had to commit early decision to here to get
Yeah.
in. That's what a lot of the recruited athletes have to do is just kind of commit early decision just because it helps the admissions and the coaches get you in. For the most part, I think it's once you're in, I think it's probably harder to get in than stay in, but and succeed because everyone
That
wants you
makes
to
sense.
succeed. So
Yeah.
once you're here, it's not bad, but it was I think it's definitely tough to get in.
Yeah. Was it difficult? Like when did you declare biochemistry as your major? Like were you a biochem and a molecular biology major or just a biochem?
That's well the it's like I know it sounds like two different majors, but the major name it's one major. It's
Okay.
biochemistry and molecular biology. So
Okay.
it sounds like I'm doing a lot, but but it's really just one major, and
Yeah.
I kind of just throw classes from chemistry, biology
Yeah.
in there together.
Well, my major in college, so like I was a double major, but one of my majors was sports media and communication. So like I can see how, yeah, that sounds like two separate majors. No, that's just
Yeah,
one major. It's just a long,
yeah.
long title. But like did you know biochem like that major was going to be something you were going to do right away?
No, I don't think so. Because I went in think so at Franklin and Marshall. You declare your major at the end of your sophomore year.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can go in with an idea and you can take the classes that you think you're going to be
Hmm.
that coincide with the major you want. But you don't have to really decide until the end of your sophomore year when you're like pretty
Yeah.
much halfway through.
Yeah.
Um, so I thought I was going to be a biology major, but I ended up liking chemistry more. So
Yeah.
just
Was it difficult to balance that school load, being a little bit more academic, like an academically strenuous school, and now you're taking biochemistry and molecular biology as your major, and you're a Division One wrestler. Like that just seems like that could have been a challenging combination.
uh, it definitely was. But I think I got to give credit to my high school. My high school did a good job of
Absolutely.
like preparing us and giving us enough of like a workload that we had to get really good at like time management, being organized, and I think that those skills that my high school made me develop carried over to college. So um, it was definitely difficult to manage it sometimes. With when you had like tests or papers coming up, I'd have to be like really really focused and locked in,
Yeah.
and like it'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to, I can't, watch a movie this week. So, oh no, I gotta do all this stuff. So,
Hmm.
it was if I was just like disciplined, like if I was like disciplined, like wrestling with like if I was disciplined with school, like I was wrestling,
Hmm.
things would generally work out, and I'd get all my work done, and it would be decent enough work.
Yeah. Was there like were other guys on the team taking similar um um majors? Were they in similar majors like that? Or were
Oh
you
yeah.
kind of the outlier where you were kind of having to study a lot more because of the major you were in compared to maybe some of your other
Yeah. No,
teammates?
all of the guys on the team. I feel like the team is split between like chemist or like pre med, business, and there's one more. I feel like we have like some government majors. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We definitely have one. I know we have more than one. I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
can't really put their names to faces right now. But like there's a lot of like there's a lot of pre med and STEM majors
Yeah.
uh, on the team, and they have to do just as much work, and they're studying just as much, doing just as much homework. So I had a lot of good role models to follow in that regard. I'm gonna shout out Noah Fox again.
Hmm.
He was a very studious. He was a good wrestler and he was super smart. And like I just remember going to the library with him a bunch because he was my roommate a few years ago. So
Yeah.
we kind of just had very similar wrestling schedules and like class workload schedules.
Yeah. That was actually kind of what I was alluding to a little bit is like, when you take a major or declare a major like yours, sometimes it can be a little lonely in terms of like you have more or different stuff to do than somebody else who's taking a different major, like a business major. Maybe it's not quite as strenuous on them and they don't have to go to the library. And so, like, you are off on an island in a sense. So, sounds like that wasn't the case, though.
Yeah,
So,
no, definitely not. I mean, there's some times where I was going to the library, but very rarely because there's so many guys who working just as hard.
yeah. When you got to F&M, you know, did you feel at times like, maybe what am I doing? I'm overmatched. I may have thought I could do this Division 1 wrestling thing, but maybe I'm not cut out for it. Like with that learning curve can come, negative thoughts, and doubt. So I don't know if you battled that at all.
I don't know. Looking back, I feel like I was always confident. I never had any doubts.
No, hey, that's great. Yeah. Some people are
Well,
like
I
that,
just I probably forgot all of the times where I was like, "God damn it! I don't know if this is like this. I don't know if this is working."
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I definitely did. I mean, I definitely had some like tough losses that I was like, thought I was better than that guy. Maybe it's like maybe I'm just not good. So yeah, there's definitely been bouts where like some like
Yeah.
losses would just like rock my world, and I'd be like, I've been losing to this guy forever. Maybe I'll get him. Like, will I ever get him back? So there definitely were doubts, but I feel like the drive to then beat them the next time overshadowed the doubts. So
Yeah.
um, they're there, and the voice is always there. Maybe are you actually good? Do you
Yeah.
actually belong here? And then at some point, you have enough evidence, amassed that you're like, I am good. Like I am good. I know how to wrestle. I belong here, and you can shut that voice up and just say, look, like I've got the confidence. I've got the skills. So the voice
Yeah.
is always there. Just how much attention you give it.
Yeah. That's awesome that you said that you kind of always had the confidence. Did you have to practice? I know it kind of sounds silly, but like practice being confident or telling yourself positive thoughts, or did that just sort of come naturally to you? Because I think that's kind of an underrated part of athletics is just having that positive mindset and that positive talk, like, I am good enough. I'm good. I'm gonna beat this guy, or and
Yeah,
just believing it.
yeah. I mindset training was definitely something we did a lot of, especially starting my junior year. We did a lot of like mindfulness stuff, um, like a little bit of, like kind of like meditation stuff, where you just kind
Yeah.
of being present, being aware, noticing emotions as they come in, and kind of the physical reactions to each emotion. Like if like you're stressed, do you feel like something in your stomach? Do you feel your heart race? And we did that, and that helped a lot. And then over my redshirt year, I kind of we did some like visualization stuff,
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
and what really resonated with me is kind of I feel like I talked about this a little bit once before, but like what you say to yourself and manifesting stuff, like the words you speak and tell yourself are very powerful.
Yeah.
And if you say it to yourself enough, you'll believe it. So I started, writing, these little process goals down. Like I'm not afraid to lose. I can take down anybody. Like I can get to my shots. I can, I'm good enough. And eventually, I just start to believe it. And you walk in there and you have some more confidence in the match. And I definitely think that being conscious and mindful of what you're telling yourself, and like kind of the energy you put out there and intake, definitely plays a huge role in building the confidence you have in matches and kind of your attitude as you practice and as you compete.
Yeah, was there a match or a stretch of matches that really pushed your confidence, over the top where I know sometimes when you're telling yourself these things, like it's one thing to believe it, but it's also another thing to like actually prove it on the mat. Like you can tell yourself I can do this, I can do this, I can take this guy down. But if you're not doing it on the mat, like there's a disconnect
Yeah.
there. So like was there something or a string of matches or a point where that started to click for you and you're like, wow, okay.
Hmm.
I put myself on the map or like I truly believe what I'm saying because I'm doing it now.
I'm not sure when exactly. I mean, I feel like the easy answer is, the Cliff Keen Open this past year, where I was like, I was I can take anybody down. Anybody that was in the bracket, I could take down. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And
that's a
that
good one. I
I
mean,
felt my confidence just skyrocket, and I was like, maybe we rewrite our goal to national champion instead of just all American, and that was
mhm.
so I did that, and that definitely I was like, all right, I am good. I do know how to wrestle. I can take anybody down. But I think it was also before that, um, just like in the way I wrestle, there's usually a lot of points scored, and usually I can end up getting a takedown somewhere in there,
Yeah,
even if the guy is like pretty good and better than me at that time. So like I feel like I had some evidence that like with enough wrestling, enough action, if I get them tired enough, I can take anybody down. So I already had kind of that like mindset going in,
yeah,
but I feel like eventually somewhere in there it got to the point where I can take guys down when they're not tired too. I'm good enough
yeah,
to do that too. So it was probably junior or my red shirt year where I had that mindset too, where I was like I can take people down.
yeah.
Fresh.
Similar to high school when you were going in and you kind of didn't really have goals at that exact moment early on in high school. Like, did you have that in college where like you didn't quite have a written goal of like I want to be a national qualifier, I want to be an All American, I want to be a national champ? Were you just really focused on 1% better each day, just trying to be the best version of myself and see where that lands me?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I think my first 2 years, freshman and sophomore year, it was goalless. Just trying to
Yeah.
be 1% better every day, just get a little better. You know, take down Crawford. You know, stuff like that.
Do you remember when you first took him down?
Nope.
No. But
I don't
what
know.
was it that first year though? Did you get him at least a couple of
Yeah,
times?
yeah, I got
Okay.
him that first year.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Heck yeah.
um, actually, I do remember I took took him down first. It
Yes.
was an early Saturday morning practice, maybe towards the end of the summer,
Hmm.
and I just remember I was well rested. I'm not sure how well rested he was, uh, and I remember getting him on like a sweep single that he was like trying to scramble out of, and eventually I just collected a leg. So yeah, that was it. But there's an asterisk there. That's not it's not a true takedown per se.
Why? Why not? What doesn't make it a true takedown? Sounds like
Uh,
a takedown to me.
that's true. It is a true takedown. It is a true takedown. I'll take that. That was the first true takedown.
Oh, that's funny. I'm just also imagining through his eyes. He was probably like, "What? Oh my God! This guy just took me down!" Like,
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
yeah. Well, you qualified for nationals in 2024 with Crawford. I mean, that had to be another pretty significant moment in your career in terms of confidence and
Mhm.
believing that you belong. Now you're at the tournament.
Yeah,
You're one of
yeah,
the 30, 33 best guys at your weight. I mean, you're surrounded by all these other guys. You're now their peer, essentially, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Definitely. At the tournament, I felt like the doubt was starting to creep in again. I was like, do I really belong here?
Wow, interesting.
And
Okay.
then once you step on the mat again, it's like, all right, well now I'm just gonna try and win. But like sitting off the mat when you're not wrestling, it's like the doubt was just like shouting.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I feel like the mindfulness stuff is so important because you can train to deal with that. You can train that you don't try and shove it down. But you try and you acknowledge it, and then it's just kind of like, all right, you're there, but I have all this evidence that says otherwise.
Right. Right. You almost kind of like you listen, not listen to it, but you hear it, but you come back with, like you just said, evidence that's stronger than it. And so like that voice just kind of, even though it's still kind of there, it just is a lot quieter because you have this other voice that is louder telling you you have all this other stuff that proves this voice is wrong, essentially, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. I think that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Um, so what was behind the idea of taking that gap year? I know I said I was done talking about it, but I guess
Oh, yeah.
like I just wanted to know, like, you didn't have to take it, so
Yeah.
like why did you take it? Because it was also towards the end of your career. Most people obviously take gap years or a redshirt year the first year, not after
Yeah.
they just qualified for nationals.
That's true. Well, with the way med school applications work, is they take like a year to process and do. So if I did my 4 years, I would have to take a gap year afterwards, essentially,
Oh, okay.
the way med school applications work and like the process time for the applications.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess essentially I did have to take the gap year anyways.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Sounds like it
so
at some
but,
point.
yeah, so we figured like might as well just take it during the school because that way you can redshirt and maximize athletic and academic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it made sense. I think it worked out really well, and I was really happy with how it went. So
Yeah, pretty much you took a year off, and I mean, you essentially redshirted.
yeah,
Not essentially, it's different. It's not a redshirt, but what you did was similar to a redshirt in that you weren't competing, you were just practicing and getting better, and you could really focus on that, and also your internships or your medical rounds or whatever. I'm sorry, whatever they're called.
yeah, it was just a clinical shadowing, some volunteer
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So, I'd say it worked out.
I would say too. I would say so too. I'm very very happy with how everything went.
Yeah. Was it hard though to come back like this year and get back into the swing of school and wrestling and was that like now that you've been out of it for a year, now you got to go back and do it all over again for one year? Like I feel like I might have like had a case of senioritis already.
Yeah, I thought it would be tough too. Well, the wrestling part was so easy because I love being on the team, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
really like towards the end it got really tough just not being on the team and seeing my friends every day.
yeah.
Like see your friends every day at practice. At 4:30 rolls around, we're shooting the shit and we're goofing off and everything. And I was I was on the club team where it was just me and you know, uh, one coach or one other guy, and I was really missing out on the team factor. I was able to really focus on my wrestling and get really, really, really specific and selfish.
Hmm.
But so it was so easy to get back on the team, like be back on the team, be back with the guys, compete with them. That
Yeah.
was like the greatest thing ever. Um, the school stuff wasn't too bad either because I was studying for the MCAT during that gap year. So I was like
Oh, okay.
basically doing, academics and like, except it was just like more on my own than school is. So school is also fun. I really enjoy seeing my classmates and professors. I don't know. I
Yeah, you love
it was
where you're
all
at.
pretty
Yeah.
easy to get back in the swing of things. I love school and I love seeing my classmates and teammates and everything. So that atmosphere and community I was definitely lacking, and I had
Yeah.
it again, and it made everything so much smoother and easier.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, it also, I guess, like I said, like what I'm hearing is like you just love where you're at. You know, you love
Yeah,
the team, you love your school, professors. Like it just seems like the perfect fit for you. And so, like,
yeah,
yeah, jumping back into something that you already truly appreciate and truly love is easy. You know.
yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah, that's perfect.
yeah. At times, was it difficult to? And I mean this. I'm going to try to say this as respectfully as possible. Okay.
Mhm.
You were ranked really high. You were the best on your team. Was it hard at times to be pushed in the practice room when you were where you were and maybe some of the guys around your weight maybe weren't quite where you were at wrestling
Yeah,
wise?
we figured out some workarounds to it by getting me really really tired. um,
Yeah.
and I've got to give it to all my teammates. They know how to push me. They know how to shut down my offense. They know how to what frustrates me. So
Yeah.
they know so that they did end up pushing me and making me work. My coaches too. I wrestled with uh, our assistant coach Steve Borgia a lot, and he uh, he knows exactly what I'm going to do right before I even do it. So it's really hard to take him down. And then we had another coach, Stephen Lawasu, who also worked with me a lot and could frustrate me in ways. Plus, um, we're really close to Alvernia, and Chance Marsteller wrestles out of there, so
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
he whooped my ass every now and then. And yeah, he actually he spent a lot of time and worked with me this past year in between his shoulder surgery. So
Yeah.
I definitely have to thank him for that and shout him out there for
Yeah.
Golden Wolf RTC.
I noticed that your senior night was like in November. It was like you had other duels, but your senior night
Yeah,
was like the first duel. And I was just
yeah.
curious, do you have any idea why that was set up that way? Like,
Let's get out of the way. I don't know. Yeah.
okay.
Plus, yeah, I think we had a lot of um, what's it called? Away duels in the end of the season. It was only a few months ago, so I should know this, but I feel like we only had like away duels. Maybe we had one or two home meets, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like I looked
I
at
don't
this.
know why we did it in November because but it was fun. I enjoyed it,
Yeah,
and then we had a lot of people there, so
yeah,
can't complain.
yeah. I feel like I looked at the schedule and you did have a couple other home duels later on in the season, so that's why I was like, I don't know why they put it at the first duel, but I don't know.
I actually have it right here.
Uh,
Yeah, we had. Oh yeah, we had Morgan State and Hofstra. Those would have been two good duels to have. So I don't know. It was
hey,
a fun match anyway. So I
yeah.
can't complain. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, you already mentioned the Cliff Keen. I feel like that was because you took the gap year. I feel like maybe you were a little under the radar because you were a qualifier in 2024, but then you took that gap year and then you
yeah.
came out in 2025 this year, 2026. And you win CKLV. And I feel like that was almost your re-emerging party, if you will. Did you feel like a lot of extra love after that? Like, holy cow, Franklin and Marshall. Like, I feel as if
Yeah.
that really put the school on the map a little bit too. Like,
It definitely did. It definitely elevated our status a little bit. No one really knew us. Um, yeah, and definitely after that, I felt a lot more attention, which is it's not something I seek out. I don't
right.
enjoy the 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 attention. But you gotta weigh it. this is something I got to put up with because you know the school needs the attention. We don't get a lot of uh, the spotlight a lot. So I'll go do it for the coaches and for the team. So I don't mind it, but it
Yeah.
was definitely something where suddenly there's all this all of this media and stuff coming out. It's like, wow, that's something I've never encountered before. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely seemed like a reemergence where people I just kind of like sprout on the mat out onto the map.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I didn't know until I came here at the Air Force Academy. Like, I was talking to Coach Barber about the schedule, and he's like, we go wrestle at the David Lehman F&M Open. And I'm like, where? And so then I had to do a little bit of research, like, oh, okay, F&M Open, and we duel Franklin and Marshall. So like, yeah,
Mhm.
there was a learning curve for me too. But was there like a sense of pride also behind that as well? Like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm going out there. I come from this small school that no one's ever heard of, and I'm beating big names and from big schools. Um, I definitely felt I was like, yeah, like we can do it too. It looks a little
yeah,
different, but we can do it too. We're just as we can get just as good as all
yeah.
these big name recruits in big name schools.
Yeah. Did the team kind of feel that too a little bit? Did they kind of feed off of that? I know it was kind of like your victory at Cliff Keen, but like, did the team sort of feel that love and support that like, oh, Franklin and Marshall and James Conway and like, hey, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of this too. Did you get a sense that they felt
I think
that
so.
too?
I definitely think so because they're always so supportive, and when one person wins on this team, it's everyone's there on Matt's side in the corner, just cheering them on because it's a very very close knit team. So I think one person's success really just elevates the whole team.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of I'm a little curious here now for a little plug on Franklin and Marshall. Like, what kind of campus is it? It's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, but like, what kind of school is it? Kind of just give me a little bit of a rundown if you can of Franklin and Marshall, a recruiting pitch, if you will. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
all right. I'll do my best. I'm not usually the one to go on like the recruiting tours with
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
I'll go to dinner, but I won't
yeah,
really. It's this. So we're in Lancaster City, and Lancaster City is kind of this recently you know it's kind of grown a little bit. So it's
yeah.
a very vibrant little city with a lot of good food, a lot of good like little like art spots and everything. So um and we're kind of just right there, kind of on the edge of it. We're about 1.5 city blocks of campus. Beautiful campus. We got some really old buildings that are really nice. We got a couple of beautiful green spaces on campus where it's a lot of students in the early fall and spring
Hmm.
just kind of hang out and get together. It's a really cool town because you get this both the city aspect with the city life, and then you go a little bit outside of that. You get farmland, country, a lot of good fishing spots, camping, kind of hunting, you name it. So you kind of get both best of both worlds of city um, and rural.
Yeah,
The school itself is nice. With academics, and the professors are all very good and work with you to achieve your goals and help you succeed. Um, that's kind of my
that's
recruiting
great.
pitch.
That was
That's
great.
all I
That was
got there.
great. You know, um, if we look back, like over F&M's history of wrestling, like they've had some guys ever like it's not like you are the first one to really blow up on the scene. Like they've had guys that have qualified. I know it's been about 10 years or so since the last All-American, but like they've consistently had representation at the national tournament. A couple of
For the most
guys for the most part. Yeah. So I mean, um, the wrestling there is is okay. Like it's not like this is you're not a one-off, I guess is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's not
yeah,
like so, if people discover Franklin and Marshall, like, hey, give them I guess I'll put in the recruiting plug, give them a chance because like it's not like James Conway's the one and only. Like there have been some people before you that have
yeah,
done pretty
yeah,
well too. So, you know,
yeah, yeah. The coaches do a really good job of developing everyone. It's not like a team where it's like only a few people get attention. Everyone gets attention, and it's kind of I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but I feel like you go to Franklin Marshall and you can succeed in wrestling. Like it's not
right,
like you don't have to be like insanely lucky to
right,
succeed. If you look at our guys, um we get we don't get the greatest recruits. We get some low tier recruits, and especially like I wasn't great coming out of high school. I wasn't like a crazy good recruit. Um, And if you look at just the work they put in and the growth of everyone on the team,
yeah,
everyone gets better. It's not like you stay the same or you get worse. Everyone gets better, and they work with everyone to
yeah,
do the best they can to reach their potential.
yeah, yeah. Basically, what I'm getting at is like, or basically what I'm hearing you say is James Conway isn't the only one who got better. Okay. It's not like all of a sudden everyone stayed the same or got just maybe a little bit better. And James Conway, somehow diamond in the rough, became who he was. Like everyone has been getting better in that room to
Yeah,
some degree,
uh, that's a perfect way to say it. Yeah,
So, you know, yeah, it sounds like kind of just a blue collar school that, we're gonna get who we can and we're gonna make them as good as we can. And that's just how we do things. Our culture is bigger than I don't want to say the results, but like if the results aren't if the results aren't where we want them to be, at least we know our culture is strong. So
yeah.
anyway, no, that's cool.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you feel a little uh what's the word I'm looking for? Not nervous, but like taken aback by kind of the spotlight in a sense of what you were, after CKLV and as you kind of continued to win. I think you won like 20 something matches in a row and you were at 184, a tough weight class. You were ranked like as, fourth or, third or fourth. I mean, were you a little taken aback by some of the social media and the press that maybe you were getting that, being at Franklin and Marshall?
Um, I definitely felt it. It was definitely something new. Uh, it was definitely weird for me. I like. I just looked at it as another like a challenge, another like thing I'm probably never ever gonna get in my life ever again. This attention. So I was like, all right, I'll go in there,
Hey,
feel
hey,
it.
don't say that. Don't say that. You might become, better surgeon than your parents, and who knows, future, no,
No,
okay?
no. Well, we'll see what happens, but I'm just gonna take this opportunity, feel it, and kind of like all right, feel it, and then now it's like all right, I got school and resting to do, so it's cool, but I've got things to focus on, and I kind of just it's there. It's kind of like that negative voice in your head. It's
Yeah,
there, you acknowledge it, but other things to worry about.
yeah. You know, as the season wound down and you end up finishing, one round shy of being an All-American. I mean, was that pretty devastating? You
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was brutal.
But I guess what I'm saying is like I wouldn't tell from your demeanor. Like you still seem like a pretty positive, like, you know, things are gonna be okay, even though we're just a few weeks removed, that you're pretty upbeat and like you don't let it show, I guess.
oh yeah. I mean, no, I was floored. I was actually devastated. For a few days afterwards, and I'm sure it showed. For the few weeks, um, and it's still something I'm kind of grappling with now is dealing like processing that failure. Um, but I'm more than a wrestler. I've got stuff outside that I like to do and focus on, and I've got school. I've got a girlfriend. I've got friends to hang out with, and I just there's
Yeah.
more to it than wrestling. It sucks. I put in a lot of work and I got really far and I got so close. Um, and yeah, it's devastating and I'm definitely still processing, being that close and just falling short, but can't really do anything about it. So just, you gotta take one step forward, focus on other stuff. I got, hopefully I got many years of future life ahead of me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
uh you know, not gonna let 3 days in March define who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really well said. That's a great outlook to have too. I mean, there's obviously a lot of people in your shoes. There's what, four at every weight that lost in the blood round times 10. There's 40 people who fell short. So, um, who's the next James Conway that we should be looking at F&M? Like, who's the next guy that, next year, maybe in a couple of years, that like is going to maybe not take your spot, but like, be the next person that we need to look out for. And maybe there's more than one.
It could be anyone.
Yeah.
It really could be anyone. I'm gonna shout
Okay.
out two guys who are returning. They're taking their fifth year. Josh Hillard and Josh Palmucci. They've got just as much skill as anyone. They can put it together and they can do it. So probably them. They're 57, 65 pounders. They can
Excellent.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we talked about just a little bit ago, like you're not the first and you're not going to be the last. Like F&M has produced individuals, maybe they haven't quite got the team that they've been looking for, but they've individually put guys consistently in the tournament. And, you were just kind of the latest one here.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's next for you? Like you graduate obviously probably next month, and then what?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to Penn State Hershey for med school in, I guess, end of July, early August. That's when I start.
Cool.
So I guess I'll be busy with that.
Yeah.
I'd like to stay around the sport. Definitely want to keep wrestling a little bit. Maybe if it's just being a practice partner or a coach somehow. Um, yeah, we'll have to see where it takes me. Because I'll see what my schedule is with med school, but I'm sure I can sneak a workout in
Yeah.
once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think well right now it's kind of goofy, but I got to train my coach. I got to train Steve Borgia to compete at the Masters. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how he does. You know,
You
probably
gonna
gonna
be
go
in his
work with
corner?
Hendricks tomorrow. That's what I've decided.
You gonna be in his corner?
I wanted to, I really did, but I've got like this like final presentation for for my class that like it's required, so it's a
Dang.
little
Okay.
tough to miss that one. I really wanted to though, just to
Yeah.
flip the table on time, but
Yeah.
yeah, it would have been fun, but maybe I can train him. Maybe I'll give him a good training cycle before.
Yeah. So med school at Penn State in Hershey,
Yep.
and then who knows or what?
Yeah, then and who knows?
Yeah.
Take it one step at a time.
Yeah. All right. Well, last question for you here, as you kind of look over your wrestling career, I know you're still kind of in the thick of processing it, but like, I mean, what you accomplished, how you did, I mean, how you improved and where you got to is pretty, it's pretty awesome. And I feel like you made your mark on the sport in your own way. You
Oh,
know, I think
I
people are,
appreciate
you
that.
know, yeah. So I don't know what you think about it. Like if you've given that much thought. Like I said, I know it's still fresh, so maybe not much thought, but
I haven't really given that too much thought. I don't know. I'll definitely think about that a little more. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I thought like if I did an All American, it would all be for nothing. But I'm sort of coming to terms with that's not true. I still I'm still a good wrestler. I'm still a really, really good
yeah, yeah,
wrestler. That's
yeah,
uh, which was for a little bit there after the tournament, I was like, man, like what it felt like the doubt voice was winning a little bit, but
sure,
I'm you know I'm still I've still grown so much. I'm still very happy with who I've become.
yeah,
So that's kind of all I've got.
yeah. No, and I'll just mention that like that's a pretty mature response already. Just like I said, just a few weeks removed from that, to sort of already be turning that page in terms of like looking at it as a lost opportunity and I maybe I wasn't that good or maybe I didn't do enough instead of looking at it like that or it was all for nothing. Instead, now you're looking at it as like, oh gosh, look at all the opportunities it has given me and like I was good. It just
Yeah,
didn't shake out the way I hoped, but that doesn't mean that my life is gonna end,
yeah,
you
no,
know?
exactly.
So
There's still so much more to do.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not the end of the world.
yeah. And so yeah, that's just a pretty mature understanding of the reality of the situation, you know?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just keep on keeping on, you know?
Yeah,
Because
that's it.
now it's 1% better at med school. Now you're
Exactly.
at med school. Now it's just like, okay, now I got to get 1% better each day. So I'm the best. So I'm a better surgeon than my parents, you know?
Yeah,
Are you going to go into surgery? Like,
I
is that,
think so. I hope I hope so. I've shadowed some,
yeah,
and it's I think it's really cool. The intensity and the focus and um, I think just some things from wrestling will be able to carry over very
yeah.
well.
Any other particular, like you said, your dad's a neurosurgeon and your mom is, what is your mom again?
Orthopedics.
Orthopedic surgeon. Yeah. Is there a route surgeon wise that you're looking at?
I think I'm interested in sports medicine and working with
Ooh,
athletes just
yeah, that'd be awesome.
of my slight athletic background.
Slight, yeah.
Um, so I think that would be a lot of fun and a way to stay in touch with the sport as well and like a professional sense,
Heck
So
yeah.
um, that's definitely something that I think I want to explore that a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be cool. Did you ever, sorry, last question here before I let you go. I know I probably said that, but did you ever deal with injuries as you were going through the
I
sport?
got really lucky, like sprained my ankle a couple times, shoulders hurt every now and then.
Yeah.
My knees kind of bugged me, but nothing crazy major. And there's always a
Yeah.
stuff that you can PT out,
Yeah.
you know, exercise it out, So just got lucky
Yeah.
that way.
Geez.
So
I might have I might be afraid to have been or if you go that route and you become like an athletic trainer or sports medicine and you're working with a wrestling team, I'd probably hate to be one of your athletes, be like, oh, I sprained my ankle, get back out there. Like, you
yeah.
know, you
Well, no,
know.
I definitely like I definitely had to sit some stuff out, because of, some like ankle sprains.
Yeah.
They always nagged me a little bit, but
Yeah.
um, I would be a compassionate. I would be kind and compassionate.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, hey, thanks for doing this. Good luck on your,
Oh yeah, no
future
problem.
endeavors. I think it'll be cool to follow you along as you end up, becoming Dr. Conway and um, and what comes next. But I don't
Yeah.
want you to, look
Yeah,
bad. Like,
thanks so much for reaching out. This was a lot of fun, and
yeah,
every chance I get, I'll shout out Franklin and Marshall
heck
and
yeah.
to my coaches. So it was really a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Like I said, we're gonna come back out there again. Air Force will for the David. I think that's kind of a staple in our schedule is
Oh,
the
that's
F1
awesome.
Monday.
That's
So
great.
so we'll be
Yeah,
out there
we
pretty
go to
much
both
every
too.
year.
Yeah,
But
it's become one of the the top tournaments. I think it's become a really tough tournament.
yeah, it maybe doesn't have like the power in terms of like names of like Ohio State, Iowa, North like
Yeah,
Minnesota, Penn State, but like it's a good tournament. And that's why Barber likes to go out there. First off, it's on the East Coast. And second off, um, it has some good guys there that will help your RPI and
yeah, yeah, exactly. We
so
get like Ivies, we get a couple of like the ACC stuff. So it's honestly it's a lot of fun.